Can you imagine an Olympic legend, once the fastest man on the planet, now choosing a quiet life in the peaceful countryside? That's Linford Christie, the 100-meter Olympic champion from Barcelona 1992, the only Brit to win gold at the Olympic, World, European, and Commonwealth Games. Now 64, Christie enjoys a very different pace of life in Buckinghamshire. He is a devoted father, a passionate sprint coach at Brunel University, and remains one of Britain's greatest athletics legends. As he once said,
when especially if I come home after a hard day at work, I just like to sit and, lay down and chill out and not having to hear all the cars and everything whizzing past.
Today, let's step into the peaceful home where Linford Christie wanted to build a life centered around family, nature, and the most important moments of quiet reflection. House in Buckinghamshire. After spending decades living under the pressure of competition and public attention, he wasn't searching for a bigger house, he was searching for a quieter life. Currently, Christie lives in Gerrards Cross, Buckinghamshire, an affluent commuter town just outside London. But during the BBC program, Celebrity Escape to the Country, he revealed that he was ready for a new chapter. His goal was to find a home deeper in the countryside of Buckinghamshire, where he could enjoy greater privacy, a larger garden, and a slower pace of life without being more than about 45 minutes from Brunel University, where he continues to coach young sprinters. With a budget of around £2 million, the Olympic legend made it clear that luxury wasn't his priority. Instead, he was looking for a place that truly fit the life he enjoys today. Family was at the center of every decision. As the father of 8 children from different relationships, Christie wanted enough space for everyone to come together. He spoke about enjoying simple moments that many people can relate to, cooking for family, hosting gatherings, and spending time outdoors. A spacious garden mattered just as much as the house itself because it was where memories could be made, not just where flowers could grow. As one who has known both roaring stadium crowds and personal challenges, this move represents a heartfelt chapter, prioritizing family bonds and a slower pace without losing connection to his coaching passion. Yet, a peaceful home is only one chapter of Linford Christie's life. After decades as an Olympic champion, coach, and public figure, just how much wealth has this British sporting legend built along the way? The answer begins with a career that lasted far longer than the few seconds most people remember. Income and net worth. While no publicly verified figure exists for Linford Christie's current net worth, there is little doubt that decades of success on and off the track have allowed him to build lasting financial security. After all, this is the man who collected 24 major international medals and still holds the British 100-meter record of 9.87 seconds, set in 1993, a mark that has stood for more than 3 decades. Prize money played an important role throughout his 17-year international career, during which Christie represented Great Britain in around 60 races. One of the biggest financial moments came in 1993 when he faced longtime rival Carl Lewis at Gateshead. Christie later described it as the biggest payday of his career, remarking that it was an extraordinary amount of money for less than 10 seconds of work, although the exact figure was never disclosed. Yet Christie understood that a sporting career would not last forever. Following his unforgettable Olympic triumph in Barcelona, he and fellow British athletics star Colin Jackson founded Nuff Respect, a sports management company based in Twickenham. The agency continues to represent elite athletes, television commentators, and coaches, with clients over the years, including Mark Lewis Francis, Ewan Thomas, and Sharon Davies. Rather than relying only on medals, Christie quietly built a business that would continue supporting athletes long after his own racing days had ended. His second career proved just as meaningful. After holding the British sprint record for nearly 30 years, Christie turned to coaching, becoming a senior mentor in 2006. Several athletes he guided, including Darren Campbell and Catherine Mary, went on to win medals at major championships. allowing his experience to shape a new generation of British sprinters. He also expanded into television, appearing on BBC programs such as Record Breakers and Garden Invaders, while taking part in entertainment shows including The Jump and I'm a Celebrity. Get Me Out of Here. Together, these ventures created a steady income built not simply on fame, but on decades of knowledge, credibility, and public trust. But before the businessman, the television personality, and the respected coach, there was a young sprinter whose determination transformed him into one of Britain's greatest sporting heroes. To understand everything Linford Christie has achieved, we have to go back to where that remarkable journey first began. It began in the quiet countryside of St. Andrew Parish, Jamaica, where Linford Christie was born into a family of 7 children. His parents, James and Mabel Christie, moved to Britain in search of better opportunities, leaving young Linford to be raised by his grandmother, Anita, near Kingston. Looking back, Christie has never hidden who shaped him the most.
My role model is my grandmother.
Wow.
And I always feel that it's good to have a role model who is very close, because then,
he recalled in an interview, long before he learned how to run fast, she taught him resilience, humility, and quiet confidence. Everything changed when he was 7 years old. Christie finally joined his parents in West London, living near Loftus Road, home of Queen's Park Rangers. It should have been a happy reunion, but instead it became one of the hardest chapters of his life. The cold weather was difficult enough, yet it was the racism that left the deepest scars. In an interview with The Guardian, Christie recalled hearing the N-word for the first time as it was shouted at him by other children. To avoid being attacked with stones, he regularly changed his route to school. One childhood memory has stayed with him for decades. One time, I was playing a game and the little girl said, "My mummy said I shouldn't play with the blackies." Even though I was young, I can still remember like it was yesterday, thinking, God, I'm black. Rather than I'm just any person, I'm a black person. Those experiences could easily have broken a young boy's confidence. Instead, they quietly built the determination that would define his life. At Henry Compton Secondary School in Fulham, Christie stood out in physical education, although athletics was far from his only passion. He loved football and admired George Best, spent hours playing dominoes, and enjoyed racing friends through the streets simply because it was fun. Even then, becoming an Olympic champion never crossed his mind. That dream only began to take shape after he met coach Ron Rodden, who encouraged him to train seriously from 1979 onward. Christie later remembered the moment his coach changed his outlook forever.
One day, my coach, Ron, said, "You could be the best in Britain."
I thought, okay, let's give it a chance. It was a simple conversation, but it gave Christie permission to believe in himself for the first time. Success did not arrive overnight. In 1986, while still relying on unemployment benefits, Christie stunned the athletics world by winning the European 100-meter title in Stuttgart and adding a bronze medal in the 4x100-meter relay. 2 years later, at the Seoul Olympics, he claimed the 100-meter bronze medal, which became silver after Ben Johnson's disqualification for doping. More importantly, Christie ran 9.97 seconds, becoming the first European athlete ever to break the 10-second barrier. By the early 1990s, Christie had reached the peak of his powers. He successfully defended his European title and won Commonwealth gold in 1990 before making history at the 1992 Barcelona Olympics. At 32 years old, he captured the Olympic 100-meter gold medal in 9.96 seconds, becoming the oldest Olympic champion in the event at the time, and, to this day, the only British man ever to win Olympic gold in the 100 meters. If Barcelona established his legacy, 1993 elevated it even further. Christie won the World Championship in Stuttgart with a British record 9.87 seconds, a mark that still stands today, and became the first and only male athlete to hold the Olympic, World, European, and Commonwealth 100-meter titles simultaneously. That same year, he was named BBC Sports Personality of the Year. He defended his Commonwealth crown again in 1994, proving his success was built on consistency rather than one unforgettable season. Like many great sporting careers, however, Christie's journey ended with controversy. After officially retiring, he briefly returned to competition in 1999 to demonstrate race preparation to his athletes. Following that appearance, he tested positive for nandrolone. Although UK athletics cleared him, the IAAF imposed a 2-year ban, bringing his competitive career to a close. Yet Christie refused to let that final chapter define him. Instead, he invested his energy into coaching, mentoring athletes such as Darren Campbell and Catherine Mary, expanding Enough Respect, working with the BBC, and continuing to inspire young sprinters at Brunel University. Now, we're also curious to know what Linford Christie becomes after all the medals, records, and applause when he simply returns home. The answer is surprisingly ordinary, and perhaps that's exactly how he wants it. Personal life. Although Christie has never married, family has always been at the center of his life. He shared a long-term relationship with Mandy Miller, the mother of 3 of his children, and today he is the proud father of 8. His family tree has also produced familiar public faces. His niece, Rachel Christie, was crowned Miss England in 2009, while his godson, Omari Patrick, followed his own sporting path into professional football. But inside Christie's home, fame is rarely the topic of conversation. Instead, he often speaks about cooking for his children, making terrible dad jokes, and even enjoying lively debates with his daughter Brianna. Those simple moments mean far more to him than reliving races from decades ago. Perhaps the most revealing thing Christie has ever said about his private life is this.
In my house, we don't talk athletics. There's no sort of like memorabilia and stuff in my house that, says I was an athlete.
It is a remarkable statement from one of Britain's greatest Olympians. Visitors won't find walls covered with trophies or framed photographs celebrating world records. Instead, home is simply where Linford Christie gets to be a father, a cook, and a normal man. His daily routine reflects that same quiet discipline. Speaking to the Sunday Times magazine, Christie explained, "By 7 o'clock, I'm awake and ready. Before I've even opened my eyes, I give thanks to God for another day. My tracksuit is washed and ironed every day. I want the athletes I coach to see that how you present yourself matters." Later in the day, after coaching at Brunel University, he enjoys returning home for a short power nap before preparing dinner. As he joked in the same interview, "I'm not too shabby as a cook. Lots of meat and salad, with a Caribbean twist, of course." Caribbean cooking remains one of his greatest passions, alongside reading, fishing, traveling, especially taking his children back to Jamaica, and hosting family gatherings where everyone feels welcome. Christie even laughs that he has become the chef of the house, a role he clearly enjoys every bit as much as standing on a podium. One thing becomes clear after spending time listening to Linford Christie speak. He has never believed success should end with personal achievement. For him, the greatest reward is helping someone else discover what they are capable of. That's why he has devoted so much of his life to young people. Together with fellow Olympian Darren Campbell, Christie helped launch street athletics, bringing sprint races into neighborhoods where many children had never imagined a future in sport. The goal was never simply to find the next champion. It was to give young people confidence, positive role models, and a reason to believe that their circumstances did not have to define them. Some of the causes closest to his heart, however, come from deeply personal experience. When his daughter Brianna was born with gastroschisis, she underwent emergency surgery at Great Ormond Street Hospital. Christie has often spoken with gratitude about the care that saved her life, later supporting fundraising campaigns for Gosh Charity as a way of giving something back. For him, those campaigns were never about publicity. They were about thanking the people who had once stood beside his family when they needed help most. That same mindset continues to shape everything he does. In 2021, Christie challenged himself to complete the Swim Serpentine fundraiser for Children with Cancer UK, despite only learning to swim later in life. 3 years later, he shared his story at the Chailey Heritage Foundation's Best of Britain event, helping raise more than £25,000 for children living with complex disabilities. Perhaps that's why Linford Christie rarely talks about medals anymore. The races made him famous, but the life he has built since then says far more about the man he chose to become.